And our final match that we are going to talk about here is the main event of the evening. Dean Ambrose faces off against Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match, and Seth Rollins comes out on top. I didn't think that was going to end up coming. And you know what? In retrospect, damn it, why didn't I? Because they had been building up this Bray Wyatt thing, and he didn't show up at that point. So really, you're a fan for long enough, you should know how that kind of stuff works. And I'm really disappointed that I didn't see it coming. But that actually made it more entertaining for me because, sometimes you just got to sit back and not play the whole prediction game, and that'll be a lot easier to enjoy. So I thought this was a good match. The ending could have been a little bit better. It's sort of maybe it came like 2 minutes early or something to me. Something was off about it. I don't really know what. I'd probably have to rewatch the match to figure that out. But it wasn't bad by any means. I still like the segment quite a bit. I'm excited about this Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose feud, and Seth Rollins is looking pretty damn good still. He's rolling along there. Uh, Ambrose really looked like the star as he should have, and God damn it, even in a match like this, Tony Tykes cannot get a fucking win. So, Peyton, what are your thoughts on this, and where can these guys go from here?
Well, these guys had a lot to follow up from John Cena and Randy Orton, and they got quite the rub from Mick Foley as well. The big thing a lot of people were wondering going into this was, are they going to do some kind of high spot? And they did. I mean, it wasn't as crazy as Foley going off, but I think it's the biggest drop off of a cell we've seen in quite some time. It's funny. It was almost like a reset going back to the same drop that Michaels did off the Hell in a Cell. He was climbing along the side and fell off through a table. That spot was really well done. I think Wago tried to shit on it because he's a cynical dick, but I thought they really did it well because when I saw them there, I was like, oh, which one's going to go? Is it going to be Ambrose? Is it going to be Rollins? Is it going to be Ambrose? Is it going to be Rollins? Oh, fuck, it was both. Oh, you got me. Like, I was actually surprised by that.
Ha! I got you.
What I really liked was Ambrose coming out with the sheath around his back for the cane. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very Dean Ambrose-ish. And just him coming out and pulling out the bunch of chairs and the bag full of other crap that I think I saw a lighter fluid in there at one point. So I was wondering if we were going to see fire, but that never turned out. Fantastic match. Fantastic extra character work. The use of Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury. My gosh, who would have ever thought that at some point in his career, Jamie Noble would be getting suplexed on top of a Hell in a Cell? But 2014, mark the calendars, Jamie Noble's career has that milestone put on top of it. He is among the greats like Triple H and Mick Foley, Undertaker, Kevin Nash, as being people who have fought on the top of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, you can tell his grandkids, yeah, I'm like the Undertaker and Triple H. I was on top of that cell. I took that bump, but I was there.
It's funny how authority angles make meaningless people have meaning. Like Johnny Ace.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one gave a fuck about Johnny Ace. Most people go, "Who's Johnny Ace?" That's what Drew says to this day, and he became a big deal for a short while.
What?
Yeah. Kane with the freaking the fire extinguisher out of nowhere. Like I didn't expect him to pop in with that, so that was a good surprise. The ending, I don't know. Something about it left me a little unsettled. A lot of people, I think, are complaining a little unfairly because I really can't think of anything that's particularly wrong with it because it was a great return for Bray Wyatt. It launches him into something big. It's two people that I'm intrigued to see face each other. It leaves unfinished business between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to pick up again somewhere down the line, which there's definitely a lot of heat in that feud still. So what's wrong with it? I don't know. I mean, I guess part of me really wanted to see Dean Ambrose get his comeuppance this night. Or not his comeuppance, but, like his fair dues. Like his chance to stand on top of the cell celebrating. I guess he got to do it before the match rather than after. It just wasn't this night. But you know what? It keeps the thrill of the chase. I was talking about this in the chat with you guys that night. They got to run to the races with Dean Ambrose, which is why I was thinking this was going to be the night to cement him, and it wasn't, which makes me kind of worried about if they're going to really follow through with him because, I don't know, they got behind Daniel Bryan, he went down with injury. They got behind Roman Reigns because Daniel Bryan dropped the ball, Roman Reigns goes down with injury. So now, Dean Ambrose is the third string guy, and he is, completely on fire right now with everything they're giving him. But I think it's going to depend on this Bray Wyatt feud, because him and Seth Rollins had great chemistry, but of course they've been on the road with each other for years. Can Dean Ambrose keep an awesome story going with Bray Wyatt, who, frankly, for almost every storyline he's been involved with since his debut has been absolute shit? I guess this is going to be the test. So all I can do is just sit back and watch. I'm not going to judge it too quickly. I'm just going to sit back and watch and see where it goes. And I hope by WrestleMania we see Dean Ambrose get his just dues and get a big victory over Seth Rollins.
There you go.
Yeah, this match was a little weird. And as far as Peyton said that I shit on the spot, when they did the initial angle, because of the camera angle, the drop didn't look that big. When they showed a replay, it looked a lot more impressive because they did it from a higher angle. So that was my only criticism of it.
Oh, so you chat on it, but then you just cram the shit back up your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. As far as the finish goes to the match, I was a little unsettled just because, like Peyton, I wanted to see Dean finally get his after pretty much being on the losing end every single time. Also, I just felt like the feud was ready to have the plug pulled on it, and Hell in a Cell was the perfect place to end it if you're going to end it anywhere. I worry when anyone steps in the ring with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's boring in-ring as a heel, and his promo work, very hit and miss, depending on which Bray Wyatt you get. Sometimes you get the one that just rambles and all his promos running together, and then you get a Bray Wyatt that'll strike gold one night. So it's going to be interesting to see how these characters blend together, because Dean Ambrose is a loose cannon, but that's why I'm saving any judgment for the result of the Hell in a Cell until after we see how this feud goes. Solid match, though, and it was great to see these guys get the main event spot.
And Drew, round us out here. What do you think about this, and where should they go in the future?
I thought it was a good match. I was entertained throughout. When it came to that spot that they did with the two tables, at first I thought it was kind of cheesy, but it grew on me. I thought it was a good spot. I wasn't impressed, but then I was like, okay, that was actually kind of cool. And honestly, I thought they might have actually just ended the match like that and just did no contest for a second. But that's me thinking that. When they actually got the match started inside the cell, it was pretty good. They had some very good spots inside the cell. I believe Seth Rollins did a powerbomb through a table that was leaning against Hell in a Cell, I believe, or something like that. I thought that was good. And when it came to the end of the match, at first I wasn't shitting on it, but I didn't like it. I thought it was stupid because I was expecting Dean Ambrose to finally get his one up on Seth Rollins. It made sense after everything that he went through, and for Bray Wyatt to interfere, I thought that was kind of stupid. But hey, it closes one door for the time being and opens another one. So we'll see what they do with the Bray Wyatt angle going forward, whether or not they have a match at Survivor Series or they're on opposite teams in a traditional in the Survivor Series tag match. We'll see, but for the most part, I thought it was a great match, and it was a great way to end the pay-per-view.
Alrighty, guys, that's Hell in a Cell. Tell us what you thought about all these different matches in the comments below, and leave your comments on the website if you are listening on iTunes and Stitcher. We are going to do the last part of this episode of Smack Talk, and we will be hitting up with all the Fantasy League stuff that we need to tell you in the next segment. So stay tuned and click on that, everybody, and we will see you there.